Oh my gosh, this is so good. This one is definitely more creamy, more smooth. This look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit mad. Never let Reno go to waste.
Be your best, be your best. You can do it, be your best. Bio means beauty in Japanese.
Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello. And if you're coming back, thank you. So today I'm gonna do it's not really an empties video because not all the products are empty, but the products that I have used for the past couple of months, as well as some products that I'm still working on, but I would like to tell you how I feel about them. But before that, let me introduce myself. So my name is Laura. I've been living in Japan for 11 years, and last year I passed the Japanese cosmetic licensing test. Basically what that means is that I studied this in Japanese. I'm not a medical professional, but I would like to use the information that I learned to help you be your best. So before we get into today's video, if you would like to purchase something from YesStyle, but you don't have any other creators code that you would like to use, please feel free to use BeauTea9. You can find the description box with the information down below. I'll also link as many of the products that I can find down there. But yeah, so that's it. Let's get into today's video. So we'll go basically in order of skincare routine, starting with the cleansers. So first up is the Woman Method AAA Active Cleansing Oil. So this being a cleansing oil would be the first step in your nighttime skincare routine. So it has two ingredients to help to keep the hydration, the moisture in your face, even though you're washing it with the oil, so that you're not like overly stripped. And that would be the Dipijua, or it's like polyquartenium, some name, I'm gonna put it up here. But that's it's not the exact same ingredient, because the one in Muji was polyquartenium like 51. This one is polyquartenium 61. They have like a bunch of different numbers for whatever reason, but yeah, the 61 is in this, and again, that helps to keep hydration in your face. It also has Issei Kato, which I also forget the name of that in English, so I'm also gonna put that up here. And again, the idea is just to like, okay, yeah, we're washing your face, but we're not gonna overly strip it. It also says that it has corn germ oil. That is an emollient ingredient, again, helping to keep the moisture and stuff on your face. And yeah, this one for me, it was okay. I would not repurchase this, and the only reason why I would not repurchase this, it was okay. The oil, the feel of the oil itself, it wasn't super heavy. I was able to get off whatever it is that was on my face that was on, except of course waterproof mascara. I always need to go in with the blue mascara remover by Hero Make. And I feel like it didn't overly strip my skin, but the reason why this one I feel like I'm so super not excited about it is because they have another version that I used before this one. So I'm gonna show you that one next, because the other version was it set my expectations up so high that when I tried this one, I was like, this is just okay. So I would not repurchase this, but I would repurchase this guy right here. So this is the With Method AAA Precious Solution Clear Serum Cleansing Oil. This one has the same corn germ oil as that one. That's the base, actually. The base oil is that. But in addition to that, apple stem cell extract to really help condition the skin as you're washing it. And it also has kanzone ekisu, which is an anti-inflammatory ingredient. So the theme behind this one is to help with otonakusumi, or adult dullness, which a lot of times that's due to the fact that as we get older, the turnover rate slows down. So you have like what is it called? The cells, they kind of like pile up on each other. Therefore, exactly, this is not going to be an exact example, but this is how I like to visualize it. So if you've ever seen those fragrance thingies that have like clear balls, like if you have a lot of clear balls, you can see to the bottom, you get like that radiance. But as the balls that they dry and they get kind of hard, it becomes harder to see through the balls. I feel like how the skin acts when it gets like harder and more like crusty, it doesn't reflect as much light, therefore it doesn't look as much radiant. So therefore, products that are targeted to help with that otonakusumi, or that adult dullness, can help kind of give you that radiance back. So I noticed when I was using this, I feel like overall my complexion just looked like, not like super bright, but like it just felt different. Like I feel bad, but the white one was not doing it. So I was very disappointed with that one, but not of its own fault. It's just that this one was so good. So I would 10 out of 10 purchase this again, and I would not purchase the white one. Okay, so the next cleanser is the Softimo Speedy Cleansing Oil. And this one is super popular. Like if you're watching this video, you've probably seen this before, but I had never tried it because I'm very stubborn and I don't like trying very popular things. But I was like, come on, it's not that expensive. Let's go ahead and try it. You know what? Okay, like it's a good product. This is like it says, it's a speedy cleansing oil and it does the job. What I would say is that as someone who has dry skin, it's not that it necessarily dried me out, but it also wasn't like the most moisturizing. It didn't leave me the most like, ooh, I still feel nice and moisturized of the oil cleansers that I'd use. So for example, between this one and this one, I would prefer this one. But this one I think was like 1800 yen versus this one's like 700 yen. So if you're in a pinch, go ahead, pick up the Smeedy Mo. It's gonna do a good job and it's able to get all of like the gunk and makeup. Again, waterproof makeup, you're gonna have to go in with a separate remover. Yeah, in terms of experience, I preferred this one. But yeah, it was good. And this one, you don't need, it says you don't need to do a double cleanse, so you can just use this. One thing that I will say though is that it says nuretate okay, which means that you can go in with wet hands. But from my personal experience, I don't think that going in with wet hands is the move. Like, I had a wet face and then I tried to wash off the sunscreen that I had, and it just felt like I had to wash my face twice. Both times my face was wet though, and so I kept getting the same result. It just felt like my face wasn't clean. So while it says that you can go in with wet hands, I would say best to go in on a dry face and then slowly add water, emulsify it, and then wash it off. That would be my tip. But yeah, I would purchase this again just because it's so cheap. Next up, another oil cleanser is the Kao brand Makeup Remover Oil FD. And this one, it did its job, but it felt lacking, you know? Like, I'm coming to this guy after I had used, for example, these guys. And so this guy, it felt just like I needed a little bit more. So while it did clean my skin, it was okay. I don't feel like it didn't leave my skin as overly stripped as, not overly stripped, this didn't leave my skin overly stripped, but comparatively speaking, I feel like this one left it feeling more moisturized, but it wasn't anything that blew my mind. It's like, okay, you got the job done, but what else? I'm at the age where I need you to give me a little bit more bang for my buck. And you didn't do that. That's all I'm saying. They're pretty comparable, I believe, in price. This was like 700 yen. I think this was also like 700 yen. But if I had a choice, realistically, I think I would choose this one just because I feel like the oil was thicker in this one, which as well, the oil is a little bit thinner. The formula is a little bit more runny in this one. So overall experience, I think this one was better. But I do think this one is a little bit more gentle. But I like this one better. Yeah, and this one, it says that it's got ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and amino acids, which I believe that it's kind of like across the whole Kao brand line. They kind of, that's their thing. They're a sensitive skin brand, and they say that they don't have like added preservatives and they don't have coloring. They don't use mineral oils, they don't use alcohol. It's definitely a brand for sensitive skin. I don't have sensitive skin is what I say, but then I feel like there are times when I'm like, do I have sensitive skin? But anyway, this is okay, is what I would say. I would not repurchase this again. On the other hand, the Kao brand, yeah, the Milk Cleanser FD, oh my gosh, this is so good. Like, I don't know if I've talked about this on this channel before, but this is amazing. Like, the thing is, it gets the job done. It leaves my face feeling moisturized after. I don't feel overly stripped, and it works fine. The formula is not overly thick. Like, this oil has a thick formula. It's not super thick. It's thick, but I feel like I'm making it sound like it's like Vaseline in a tube. It is not that thick, but it's thicker than my liking. This, on the other hand, is a more thin, kind of runny formula, so I really like this. But yeah, this one I really enjoyed. Again, I have dry skin. I use this throughout the winter and I really enjoyed it. Same as with the Kao brand oil. Again, it has ceramides, hyaluronic acids, and amino acids. I finished using it and my face didn't feel overly stripped. Love this. Another cleanser that I really love is this one, the Karute HD Moisture Cleansing Oil Gel. And this is, oh my gosh, like, this is like, whew, like, I don't know if you could tell, I got a lot of emotions and feelings about this because it says that it's an oil gel, so it's a really interesting, like, it's a light, it comes out looking like a gel, but you rub it on your face and it's an oil. But I would finish using it and it was similar to the Ihada Milk Cleansing. It felt like it left almost like a film on my face, but I feel like the Ihada one felt like I could feel that film more, whereas this one, I just felt like it was a veil of protection, of moisture that was there, but it didn't feel obtrusive to me feeling my face, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. Usually I would use this by itself. I wouldn't go in, although it does say to use a separate foam cleanser after, but I don't usually use foam. Like, I don't wash my face more than I need to if I don't need to. But I have noticed that me being a little bit too careful, sometimes I'm like, remember that otona kusumi, that adult onus that I was talking about? I feel like I did notice that because I tend to skip out on doing double cleansers. But for the most part, using this by itself, or even using it as the first step in a double cleansing routine, like, it's annoying how good it is. Almost, it's so good. And the active ingredient in this one, so this line, Karate HD, they're famous. What they're known for is heparin 유지부스, or it's like a heparin-like substance, and that helps to increase the blood flow. But that's not even in this product. The active ingredient in this product is dipotassium glycerizate or glycerisinate. I still don't know which one it is. It's in Japanese, it's gurichirujisankarium, but that is an anti-inflammatory ingredient. And oh my gosh, like the fact that your main thing is heparin-like substance and you don't even have that in here, but you still blew my mind. Like, oof. Yeah, so definitely if you have sensitive skin or if you have dry skin, I would recommend this. I don't know, maybe if you have oily skin and sensitive skin, go in with this and then a second cleanser. But yeah, like if you from a dry skin gal to a dry skin pal, I'm just saying, I think it might be a little bit expensive to buy it on places like YesStyle or Stylevana or like online sellers. So if you can get it when you get to Japan, or if you have a friend that's coming to Japan and you can get them to get it for you, like try it out. So next up, a couple more cleansers. I feel like the products that I have the most is the cleansers, but I feel like I definitely use them the most out of all the different types of skincare products that I use. And then B, I'm also introducing some products that I had not introduced before, but I had them there in a while. Now I'm gonna get rid of them. Goodbye, get out of my bathroom. This next product though, this has not been in my bathroom for a while. Unfortunately, it's still in my bathroom, but I'm trying to go through with this. Anyway, this is the Dove Moisture Milk Cleansing. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like this. It leaves my skin like, I thought it's a milk cleanser. Okay, this is gonna be great. It promised uruoi. Uruoi is moisture, hydration. It did not deliver on the moisture and the hydration. Even though it's a milk cleanser, I feel like it's almost like your regular foam cleanser, but it's just not, it's not what I expected. Therefore, I would 10 out of 10. I would not recommend this. I'm sorry, I cannot do this. Like, I'm gonna try and finish using it because it's not as offensive to the senses as the Senka whip. That will suck the oils off of my face and the oils off of the face of my ancestors through the transitive property of equality. Like, it is that. The Senka Perfect Whip for me is my mortal enemy. This is not to that level, but like, you kind of close. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't particularly like this one. And then I know there's not like any standout ingredients, so I'm like, this is okay. I wouldn't purchase again. But a product I would purchase again would be the Cow brand foam wash. And this is, oh my gosh, this is so good. Remember how I told you I was like, oh, I don't really do like a double cleanse because my skin is really dry. And this almost, I would almost do a double cleanse every day with this foam because it is that good. Like, the thing is though, and I'm gonna tell you right now, from my personal experience, I used it, but I used it as you would regularly, I feel like how most people in the West would use, that you pour it out, you foam up your hands, and then you just put it on your face. And I used it like that, and it felt more drying. I was like, oh, I don't really want to foam it up and all that stuff. And so that time that I did it like that, I was like, oh, this feels a little bit drying. So I really, to be honest, I did not like that experience. But the other times that I've used it, have been that I'll either usually put it in a cup, put water, and then I'll foam it up, and then I'll use the foam and I'll gently press it on my face. And those times, like when I tell you that I've used this before, this is a strong enough cleanser that you don't need to go in with a second foam wash. And just because I'm like either gonna shave my face or I'm gonna use the electroporation devices, so I'm like, just to be extra safe, I go in with a second cleanse. And using this, even after this, my face feels moisturized. Like, it's so good. So I absolutely 10 out of 10, I would recommend this. But I would definitely recommend, if you don't have a kind of foaming, either a foaming net. Oh no. Okay, my light ran out, so I'm gonna just go ahead and finish this up like this, I guess. But yeah, so if you don't have a foaming net or a foaming cup, I would definitely recommend at least trying to try and invest in getting that, because I feel like you will get the full experience of this foam, to be able to use it as a foam and yet it doesn't overly strip your skin. It's so amazing. Oh my gosh, I love this. And it was so, at least in Japan, it's really cheap. It's less than 1,000 yen. I think this was like maybe, again, 600, 700 yen. This brand is pretty cheap. And just as with the other products, it has ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and amino acid. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So I would totally recommend this. Another cleanser that I would recommend would be this one, the BeauTea cleanse. And this is the regular version. They have one that is also the pink, that's supposed to be the more moisturizing version. I have not tried that one, though I have only tried this one. But this one, if you see the picture, the idea is that the makeup the oils, I think I may have talked about this last time, so I'm so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but the idea is that the oils, they go in between your makeup and your skin, and then they just kind of like whoop, like take it off so that you don't need to rub your face. Because remember, in Japanese skincare theology, not theology, but in the Japanese skincare world, masatsu or friction is one of the worst things that you could do to your face. So this helps to prevent that masatsu, and I feel like it does a good job of really cleansing your face, getting the stuff off, and it just makes it really easy. And I feel like after I use it, it doesn't leave me overly stripped. It does a decent job, but I feel, to me, it feels similar to like this. It doesn't feel overly stripped, but it also doesn't, my face doesn't feel like it's like moisturized and like amazing and, you know, just like woo kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, these are okay though. But I would purchase this again. I would purchase, and they have tiny little trial bottles. If you get it in Japan, you could try it and see before you get the full size. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, these are the last two cleansing related products. So first up is this, the Massage Face Wash Gel. And this is a non-foaming product. It says that you should put it on your wet face. So when your face is wet, then you go on, you put it on, and then you just rub it gently into the skin, and then you wash it off. This particular series of products, it says that it helps clear out your pores, and I'm not going to lie, I don't use it consistently enough to be able to see that happening, so I cannot say, but it is a very nice gentle cleanser. If I feel like I've sweat a lot at night, or if I feel like extra particularly sticky from the skincare routine that I did the night before, then I'll go in with this instead of what I usually do, which is just regular water, and then I'll just rub that on my face. Sometimes I'll use this as the second cleanse, but realistically very rarely. But it's a nice, I just like the sensation because it's such a nice smooth gel, just rubbing it on my face and then rubbing it off. And the smell, it says that it has a relaxed aroma smell, but I'm not gonna lie, I think it might just be me, I'm not sure. To me, the smell is kind of weird because it has, like, it starts off really good, but then it has a weird kind of after scent, and you're like, what is that? But then it goes back to good again. So if you're sensitive with smells, I would be wary of this one, or at the very least, if you can get the trial size, was in Japan, this was like less than, I think it was like maybe at most 400 yen. It for sure wasn't 500 yen. So it's a nice experience. I've got the pink one because I have dry skin, but they have the green one. They have the green one, which the green one is more geared towards people who have more oily skin. I would purchase this again, if at least for the experience. And then the last one that I want to introduce, this foam cleanser by Matsumoto Kiyoshi. And the reason why I got it is because I think this was less than, for sure it was less than 500 yen. I think it was less than maybe 400 yen even. And it says that it has 5 different types of ceramides, and it has 5 different types of hyaluronic acid. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing. It's gonna leave my skin feeling so moisturized after I finish cleaning my skin. That's not what happened. Let me tell you, when I tell you that this left my face feeling not so dry, like not incredibly dry, but you know when you finish washing your face and you're like, I need to put on the rest of my skincare or I'm gonna have problems. Like a little bit, that's what it feels like. It just feels like the tightening of the skin after I finish washing it. So this is a little too overly stripping, which is just another example of why you can't judge products based solely on their ingredients or whatever ingredients it is that they say are really good. But yeah, so that was a little bit disappointing, but that's fine. I still have most of it left, so I don't know, I'll probably try and use it as a body wash to try and finish it up. But yeah, this one, me personally, I would not purchase this again. And God said, let there be light. No, I finished charging my light, so we're gonna finish up with the rest of the video. So I believe that the last thing that I talked about was this creation from Matsumoto Kiyoshi. It's super eye. I'm gonna put that down. And I think I'm done with all of the cleansers. So next I'm gonna move on to toners. Let's build up the hype. So first up is going to be the Nature Conk Medicated Clear Lotion. And they actually renewed this keshousui, but it's a fukitori keshousui, so it's one of those that you put on a cotton pad and then you wipe it off, and it helps with light exfoliation. And this one, the active ingredient is placenta extract. It also has diabetes glycyrrhizae, which helps with inflammation. So this basically uses fruit extracts as the AHAs, which is a chemical exfoliant that'll help to get off the crusty dead skin layer cells. But when I use this, even though this is super gentle, and a lot of Japanese beauty YouTubers that I've seen say that they use it every day, I don't know if their again, remember, we're skin individuals, so what works for me might not work for thee, and even what works for them did not work for me. They're like, oh, we use it every day, but I don't know what their nighttime skincare routine is, or I don't know if at night they use either retinol or retinol or tretinoin and things like that. But there were some times when I would use this multiple days in a row, and I would notice after I would use it, my skin would feel kind of itchy, and I was like, oh, I feel like my skin is a little bit sensitized. So while I don't think it's super potent, I would not, out of an abundance of caution, I would not use it super frequently. But yeah, it's supposed to be a super gentle exfoliating toner, and this was, at least in Japan, it's like 10 bucks. Super duper cheap. Yeah, and it's alcohol free. It also says that it's a low acidity pH. So legitimately, truly, they make it to help not only with exfoliation but also moisturization. You don't have to use it with a cotton pad, but that's the recommended usage. You could just use this as a toner by itself, but because I have another toner, then I would just use this as the exfoliating toner. And I just have the tiniest bit left, so I'll probably finish this up in the next month or so. Next toner that I have is the Keshimin Moisturizing. I believe this is the moisturizing type. And this series, or this line, is supposed to help with preventing freckles and spots, so hyperpigmentation, things like that. This is the high moisturizing type, and I'm not gonna lie, I bought this because they just had it randomly on sale. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I don't know if it was a typo that they made in the system, because I got this for 300 yen. It was like 329, and I saw it and I was like, I think it's a mistake. So I took it. They sold it to me, so I was like, okay, and is there anything left? But I think really what's happening is that they might not be selling this type anymore, or maybe they're getting rid of it because it's like older, maybe because of the packaging. So I genuinely truly have no idea, but I bought it up, and it's not bad. It's not a bad product, but because of the other product that I have that I would reach out for more, I didn't use this one as often. So sorry, this actually has 2 active ingredients, and one of them is L-ascorbin acid 2-glucoside and then dipotassium glycerizate. So L-ascorbic acid would help with hyperpigmentation and preventing the creation of freckles and spots, things like that, sunspots due to the sun. And then dipotassium glycerizate would help with reducing inflammation, which inflammation can also lead to hyperpigmentation. And it doesn't have colorings, it doesn't have fragrances, it doesn't, like, it legit is not offensive at all. And yeah, it has like no smell. You can see it's a pretty watery texture, very liquidy. The texture is just like ever so slightly viscous. It's definitely not watery, not runny. And so that's one of the reasons why I would say that I didn't reach out for it as much. Another reason is because, and that's going to be my next toner. So my next toner is this. It's not infamous, the famous Natorie Hatomugi. And as you can see, I have just the tiniest bit left. And I tell you, I have the tiniest bit left, and I have been using this in combination with these little pads, and then soaking 4 of them and then putting them on my face and leaving them on. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit mad. And I'm unreasonably mad because I enjoyed using this product. But I'm mad that it lived up to the hype. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a hater. I don't know if you've been watching any of my channels, but I'm a self-proclaimed hater. Yeah, I was hesitant to purchase it, but I was like, let me go ahead and try it. And actually, I really enjoyed it. This is, I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite. I would say this and the Kiko Masamune are now my favorite Puchipura or petite price, like drugstore price toners. Dang. Saying that, you have no idea how it eats away at my soul, but that's fine. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's just a super light, watery texture. This one should be easy to show you. Yeah, but you see how it just runs off, runs down, super light watery texture. I used it throughout the whole summer, and it just felt like, the thing is, it's nice and it gives the decent amount of moisturization, but I definitely feel like, for example, when I used the elixir or the elixir a couple of years ago, I don't even have footage of me using that. I just have a video of me being like, no, I spent money again. But yeah, like when I used that, it felt not only moisturizing, but I also felt like almost like this, not an instant like elasticity kind of pull, but I definitely felt a little bit of a difference when using that product over time. And with this, the Natorie Hatomugi, I didn't feel that extra boost, but I got the moisturization. So I think for moisturization, definitely does a good job. It's not offensive to the senses. Honestly, 10 out of 10, I would purchase again. This is great. The next toner that I have is this one. This is the Rumaildo Kisho Sui. And this one, similar to the Karate HD, this brand's special thing is that they have heparin ruijibushu, or the heparin-like substance, which is, again, it is an ingredient that helps to increase blood flow. So when I was using it, I definitely felt like my skin it felt very nice and moisturized. I would only use it at nighttime. The texture is definitely more viscous than, it is similar to the Kishimin. It's a little bit more viscous than, yeah, you see how it comes out? You see how it runs down kind of slowly? So it's definitely a more viscous texture than the Natoriye, but it's not like an emulsion texture. And what was really nice about this product is that this is not the full-size product. If you were like, is that it? This is the trial size product that I got in a Sundrug in Shibuya. It was like 500 yen, but because I'm really cheap, I used this legitimately. I think this took me like 2 months or so to use. I used like just a couple of drops, just enough to feel like it was going all over my face, and then I would move on with my day. I think the average time for a product of this size maybe is like at most 20 days, but again, your girl's cheap. So I'm out here doing the most with my yennies. In my last Empties video, I said that I wouldn't repurchase the cream because I didn't like the texture. For this one, I feel like I like the effects that it gave me. I would be more interested in trying the new Eki or the emulsion, seeing how that would feel, and then I would decide which of those from that line I would choose to use again. But I actually have another product from this brand, and that's this one, the Rumaido, the spray. And so basically it's just a toner spray, and just like the mini version here, this one has heparin ruijibushu, or the heparin-like substance. The only thing is that this one, because it's a spray, the texture is way more watery-like. Let me see if I can show you right now. I don't know if you saw anything. My glasses are now wet, so I can't see anything. I like it because, just like it says, it's a toner, so it's a very light texture. It doesn't have any emollient ingredients, which is, I would say, the advantage when it's, for example, the summer, when it's really hot and I'm sweating anyway. But definitely for the winter, this is not going to be enough, so I would look for something that has more of something similar to the Excel Mist that I used before, that has both an oil layer and a toner layer. Oh, I have one more toner. So next up is this, the DW Lab, and then this is the azelaic acid toner. And admittedly, I think I was a fool when purchasing this, because I did one of those skin analysis tests where they shine the light and they're able to see the layers deep beneath in your skin, and one of the layers showed like redness, and so then I was like, oh well, azelaic acid is known to help with redness, but I think that azelaic acid can help with visible redness, that like deep redness that's in the skin. That is probably like, you need to go in with lasers. But I thought about that after the fact, and I was like, well, I guess I already purchased the bottle, and it was only like, I mean, 1,000 yen, but it sucks because I only use this much. And the reason why I only use this much, well, several reasons. Number one is that even though, and this is another instance of, you can't judge the product entirely by the skincare ingredients, which is ironic because that's what I do a lot on this channel. I'm just like, oh, this has these ingredients and it seems amazing. Okay, putting that aside. But yeah, so it has azelaic acid as the 1, 2, 5 is the 5th ingredient. It also has, but see, this is where I should have known. This is where I fooled myself. Has gurishin, and that ingredient is an ingredient that used to be not exclusive to Shiseido, but for a time Shiseido had a patent on being able to say that that ingredient can help with pores, but the patent expired, I think, earlier this year. So now a bunch of different products have the gurishin helps with pores, but I, being a dry skin gal, that's not something that I needed. But I was just like, oh, it has 3 types of ceramides, it has a couple of amino acids, and I was like, it should be fine. And yeah, it was not fine. It was not moisturizing enough for me. Another thing that I noticed is that when I would put it on, it would like, hadaga chotto hirihiri suru. Hirihiri is stinging, but not like a painful stinging. And again, I don't know how much of it is placebo effect. I've heard that when people use azelaic acid, sometimes they'll get that hiri, like that's just a quality that comes with a higher percentage of using azelaic acid. So I was really impressed, actually, because I'm like, this is just a toner that I bought for 1,000 yen, and am I feeling that kind of stinging feeling because it's, you know, a property of azelaic acid in high concentrations? Was, again, remember, the azelaic acid is the 5th ingredient on this. But for someone who has dry skin, I don't need to use azelaic acid for skin brightening. I can use other ingredients such as tranexamic acid or vitamin C, glutathione. I don't need to use azelaic acid. but I got really excited. I got hyped. I bought it, and then I was using, and I was like, even though I think that this might actually be working because I feel the stinging, and it wouldn't last all the time. It would just initially, it was just when I would first use it the first couple of times, and then as I would use it, it would go away and it would kind of mellow out. But then if I stopped using it for a while and I started using it again, it would kind of come back. But I'm like, I don't need to do this. So then honestly, that's one of the reasons why I bought this, because I was like, well, I bought this and this didn't really work out. I need something a little bit more moisturizing, so I bought this, and this was like the perfect level of minimum moisturization that I needed. Yeah, unfortunately, I am not going to use this on my face, but now that I think about it, I'm going to use this on my body. But I'm very sad. But you know, live and learn. Please let me know if you know where that's from down below. I would really appreciate it. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me alone here. But yeah, so I think that is it for the toners. So next up is the emulsions. For the emulsions, I only have one emulsion. I've been using one emulsion this whole time. I weaned off of this one from the last Empties video that I had, and then I started using this one, the Shirojun Premium. And the active ingredients in this are tranexamic acid and dipotassium glycyrrhizate or glycyrrhizinate, whichever one it is. So again, tranexamic acid helping with skin brightening, hyperpigmentation, evening out my skin tone, and the other active ingredient helps with inflammation. It does, I feel like, the perfect level of hydration. It only has 2 types of hyaluronic acid versus this one has 8 types of hyaluronic acid, and I feel like sometimes this was a little bit too much even for me, but I genuinely feel like this one was just perfect. So this was great. I absolutely love it. I still have a bunch left actually, so I'm really excited to finish this up for the rest of the year. Yeah. Given the price and the payoff, I feel I would 10 out of 10 recommend if you're looking for something that's moisturizing and that has skin brightening properties. Let me show you the texture. So here we go. It's very, there you go. You see, it's quite viscous. Obviously it's not cream level viscous, but it is quite viscous, I would say. We have here looking juicy. And for this, sometimes recently, because it's so warm in the summer, I won't even put on a cream. I'll just put on, this will be my last layer of skincare, and then I'll go on with my sunscreen. So next up is the serum section. And I'm gonna include these two in the serum section because I don't have a lot to work with right now. First up is this, the 2 Wear Retinol, which I actually included in the last video. It's really funny. Actually, it's kind of not, because I'm like, Laura, you're wasting products. I don't like it. But I was using this and I felt like it's not potent enough. Before I was using this, I think I was using, the Sana Wrinkle Retinol. But before I was using that, I was using tretinoin. So I have a history of using tretinoin. I have a history of using retinol. And I mentioned, I believe in my last video, that if you want a stronger retinol product, you're not going to get it in Japan because they don't really do retinol at this time. You can only really get it in like clinics that dermatologists do, or you can get it online from K-beauty retailers. And I was using this and I was really excited because it had retinol and it had matrixyl, which matrixyl complex, which is a complex of like peptides that are supposed to help with improving the look of wrinkles, and like the thing that they call Botox in a bottle is in here. It's not going to be to the level of Botox. It's just like you're getting, basically like LaCroix, the LaCroix water of Botox. That's what we're gonna call it. But it's very, 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 if you have an effect, it's going to be very, very, very light. Just keep that in mind. I'm just trying to reduce your expectations to 0. This is not potent enough for me because I have used more potent retinols, so I wanted to bump it up. So I stopped using this and I started using the Retinol by Derma Factory. I believe the retinol is 1%. And this was super cheap. This brand on Q10, which is this online e-commerce site that mostly sells K-beauty in Japan, I think this was maybe 2,000 yen, but because I use so little, I've so far been using it for a month and a half, 2 months, and I would say I still, maybe 2 months, I'm not exactly sure, but I still have quite a bit left, so it's gonna take me a while to get through. The texture for this, the color, which I've heard them say that the more retinol that you have, the stronger the orange color, the stronger the yellow color, which if you see the color's quite vibrant, versus the 2 Wear one, which if you notice, there's a pretty big difference in the color. This is the Derma Factory one, this is the Two Bear one, and then the texture, this one is definitely more creamy, more smooth. This one is just a little bit more, just the slightest bit more viscous, but it's not like super different. This one's just a little bit more elegant. It is definitely really smooth, more like a serum. That's what the serum is. I'm gonna put this on my neck. Oh my gosh, my neck is gonna be irritated tomorrow. Like, what did you do to me? Oh my god, never let rent go to waste. But yeah, I've been using this and I'm really enjoying it. I feel like it does a really good job. My next serum would be this, the Elixir, the Zaseramu by Elixir. So if you can see, it has this little pump here, and I'm gonna pump a bit out, but I'm gonna put this on my face. This is, you do not waste this. So in this video that I did here last year, it is an Iyakubegahin quasi drug, so the active ingredient is tranexamic acid, but the actual amazing mechanism of it is that it helps to support the basement layer of our skin, which it tends to get destroyed by the sun, so it helps to combat those enzymes that would destroy that. And it also has some signaling that goes around that helps to increase, like, I think it was like work with the stem cells in our skin. It was like amazing and fascinating. And what I will say about this is that while I do not have, this is purely anecdotal evidence, but I feel like when I'm using this, I feel like I notice a difference when I'm using it continuously. And why do I say when I'm using it? Because there'll be times when I'm like, ooh, I want to use this, and then I use that every night, and I feel like I will notice, like, my skin, it just looks like nice and like firm. It looks nicer and firmer when I'm using it. But yeah, the thing is that as I'm using it, yes, I notice it, but I notice it most when I'm not using it. When I'm not using it, I'm like, oh, like my skin just looks a little bit like it could use a little bit something else. And then I start using it, and then it goes back to like, ooh, like this is really good. And so I would keep doing this back and forth. But yeah, so this product, I really enjoyed using it, and I definitely feel like I noticed the difference, again, mostly when I'm not using it, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had a little bit of extra oomph. The thing is, it is quite pricey, and I did not purchase it myself. I got this from my friend. She got it for my birthday last year. Another thing that I will say about this product is that this is not very moisturizing. I like the effects it has on my skin, but it is not very moisturizing. The serum is very watery, so it is a very nice texture, but it is not moisturizing, not in the least. I think that would be a disrespect to this product, but it is not. Don't expect this to be like, for example, I would say this is more moisturizing than this. It's hydrating, not moisturizing. This is more moisturizing. But yeah, all that to say, I do like this product. I would purchase it again. But the Elixir line, which actually they had a renewal of the products that I mentioned earlier that I really enjoyed using, and I would want to try that. Those are, when I was using those back in the day, I also had that same like, ooh, I'm using it and I feel like my skin feels nice and firmy and bouncy, and those are a lot cheaper. Like that line tends to be usually around like 3,000 yen to max 4,000 yen or so in Japan. This is 10,000 yen, but again, you're getting different technology in this, so I'll probably try that series again, and then when I do another empty video, maybe sometime next year, I don't know, then I'll let you know how it goes. Next, I'm gonna move on to creams and basic. Oh no, I'm running out of battery for real this time. Okay, this is the second battery. Okay. I'm sorry if the audio sounds a little bit wonky and the camera's like, whoa, like completely different, but I'm filming my phone now just to finish up the rest because I was like, let's just get through it. The last couple of empties are, number one, this cream by Sana America Hompo, which I recently did a video. You can check that out over here. It does not have fragrance, but it's like, you know when it smells like skincare? That's what it's giving. And so the texture of this, I would say, let me show you the texture. It's quite thick. I feel like you could see that it's quite rich, but I actually did not like this cream that much. Like, I feel like it was richer than the blue Aqua Label cream. I wanted a more moisturizing cream, and then I got the Matsuyama cream, which I thought was very rich and moisturizing. I really like that one. This one is similar in terms of moisturizing to the Matsuyama, but the difference is that this one I think feels a little bit more silicone-y. So when I wake up in the morning, I would see almost like little balls of like the product peeled in on itself, especially when I would wear, because I wear sleeping masks sometimes so that I don't get the light, and it's like where the mask would touch the product continuously, I would see the little pills of product. I didn't really like that, but other than that, it was okay. I feel like it delivered nice moisturization, but Yeah, so not my favorite, but it wasn't terrible. And I think this was only like maybe 900 yen or so. It was really inexpensive. So I would purchase it again if I was in a pinch, but if I had a choice, I would not purchase it again, if that makes sense. And then last two is, first up is this one, and this one is not an empty and all, so this is more like a first impression. Yeah, so the soy milk isoflavono and all-in-one gel. And this one is super liquidy. This one is mad, like, let's see if you can see the jiggle. And it is super duper. I'm gonna take a little swalla la la la. And here the texture is much lighter. I think you can see it on the video even. How it just spreads, and it's definitely more liquidy. And I really enjoyed it immediately when I started using it, but I didn't realize. It was really funny because the first day that I used this, the next day when I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, my skin is so moisturized and it's so amazing. So then another day, I think it was like the next day, I tried it, but then I was like, wow, it's really different. So what I noticed is that the first day that I used it, before I went in with this cream, which I said 2 more products, but I actually have 2 more products from now, I had put this, the Amino Moist Oil. And so I usually put 2 drops of this, and I'll put it in the areas that I feel get especially dry. So I'll put it usually here, and then here, as well as here on my forehead, and also around here. And then I put this cream on top of my whole face, and I felt like my skin was super moisturized. That makes sense. I went in with an oil the night before. I don't think that you need to use this specific type of oil, but I definitely feel like this oil is very nice because not only is it moisturizing because it is an oil, it also has a type of like a phytoceramide, if I'm correct, and then I believe macadamia oil, which is supposed to be like a really nice emollient ingredient. So I really like this. I want to say that I purchase it again, but I want to try using a cheaper oil, see how that feels, and then see if I really want to go back to this one. This one is a little bit expensive. I think it was like maybe 2,000 yen for this little bottle, but I only used 2 drops at night, and this has lasted me so far more than 2 months. Yeah. Even though this is kind of like a first impression, right now I would repurchase this. I would not repurchase this. And then this is officially the last product, but this, the Ihada medicated balm. So Ihada, they have 2 balms. They have this one, and then they have the regular non-medicated. And like I say medicated, but it just means that it's a quasi drug. Hold on. Up here, I believe, I want to say it's tranexamic acid. I could be wrong, but I think that is the ingredient. And so that helps with skin brightening, but it also helps with inflammation. But what I like most, I'm not going to show you the inside of this jar, but I will show you the texture. What I really like about this versus regular Vaseline is that it's so soft. Let me see if I can show you like an accurate. You see how it glides on just like if it were like a cream? There's no resistance. It just goes on so smooth. This is honestly one of the most pleasant. It's like a butter. It feels like as you put it on, it melts as I'm using it, versus Vaseline, which I have Vaseline here. So versus, for example, Vaseline, which it feels like in the jar the texture is stiff. Coming out of the jar, the texture is still stiff. For example, I'll go on this hand. But do you see how like I feel like I'm tugging at my skin in order to get it to move, when with this one it just glided. So I really enjoyed using this one. I'm gonna complain, but it's like a really minute complaint, because this was, I think, maybe 1,600 yen, so like 16 bucks. But this lasted me for a long time, and it lasted me throughout the whole winter, and especially for the winter because my areas that get really dry are definitely underneath the eyes and here. And there was a period of time when I was going outside and I was running, because it was like I'm in my running era, and I was actually out in Tokyo running in the cold. I'm talking smack about the concept of running outside in the cold. Like, why are you running? But yeah, so this couple of times that I would go running with them, I was just like, oh, my face, I guess this is my life. I'm just gonna come back really cold. But then at one point I realized, I was like, oh, I could put this underneath my eyes, and then I could put that here, and then it'll help protect my skin from the cold. Actually, I could probably put it all over my face. I'm not very acne prone. I could probably just seal my face up, get sweaty, and I will probably be perfectly fine. But it's such a nice light texture though, that when I put it underneath my eyes, it doesn't feel like I would be tugging at my eye skin to get it to go across my face, versus Vaseline, which is such a thick pasty texture that if I were just to put the Vaseline on just like that, it would definitely feel like it would be tugging at my eyes. But what I've realized recently is that if I warm up the Vaseline, so I'm gonna take some out. So if I warm up the Vaseline in my hand before, and even then, actually doing it now, I'm like, yeah, this still feels kind of sticky. It just feels stickier. So it goes on slightly better, but it's still not the same. Like this 10 out of 10, I said I would purchase again even though I haven't, but that's just because I'm very cheap and I've been buying other stuff. Also, another difference I just realized when I'm rubbing my hands, this hand that has the regular Vaseline, this smells like Vaseline. This very much smells petroleum jelly factory smell, whereas this one, the Ihada one, does not. So if you want to try petroleum jelly, but you're like, oh, I don't really like the smell, I don't really want to put that on my face, I would definitely recommend the Ihada balm. You don't have to get the medicated balm. You can get the regular one, and that one is like maybe 200 yen less than the medicated one. But yeah, my hands are super sticky and I need to go to the supermarket to go pick up some sustenance for the week. But thank you so much for chilling out with me and letting me show you the stuff that I have used. Have you used any of the products that I have introduced today, or are there any products in particular that you would be interested in using? Oh, I forgot about the masks. Hold up. Okay, yeah, I saw it right now in the back screen. Oh my gosh. So let's try and do a speed run. Okay, so the Lululemon mask, the one night mask, which I bought the little trial pack because I was like, well, let me just get one and see how it works. Well, I got two, and so I already tried one and I actually really liked it. I feel like my skin felt hydrated the next day as well. I'm really excited to try the second one though, and when I do this one, I'll make a short and I'll give another review. Another mask pack that I tried is this one, the Hatomugi Bio mask from, this is actually by Matsumoto Kiyoshi, and this pack I actually did a short reviewing the previous formulation, and this is the most recent formulation. I remember because I looked at the ingredients when I saw it in the store. I was like, oh, I feel like this looks a little bit different, and then I looked at the back and I was like, oh, there's this ingredient that they had in the other one that was Nimuha Ekisu, which was a really interesting sounding ingredient. I don't know if there was a high enough concentration of that ingredient in the previous mask to have significant effects to be able to be like, yeah, like this is our star ingredient, but it did have that ingredient. And then when I went to go look at this one, I was like, oh, it doesn't. So I guess they did a reformulation. The thing is, this mask pack is 10 masks for, I think it was like 300, maybe 400 yen. But for me personally, I don't like this reformulation. I'm sorry, I will not be purchasing this again. But yeah, it has placenta extract, which helps with skin brightening. It has also got peptides, which helps the skin, which helps with moisturization. It could help it with elasticity and firmness. It also has niacinamide. It's got royal jelly ferment extract, and it also has ceramides, and it also has rice ferment extract. But even with all of that, I would feel, especially on my cheeks, when I would wear it, you're supposed to wear it for 10 to 15 minutes, but I would feel like when I wear it, usually for around the 10-minute mark, when I take it off, my cheeks here feel kind of sensitized, and I don't know why, but I'm not going to repurchase this. I might finish using it just because I'm a little bit stubborn, but yeah, this is like, I won't buy this again. A mask pack that I did like though, this is the Komenuka mask, or it's like the rice bran mask by Bihada Shokunin. And actually I decided to try this mask because someone asked in the comments and they were like, oh, can you introduce bulk mask packs that don't have essential oils? I'm still putting together the list, but this is one of the brands that doesn't have essential oils on the list. And so I saw it in Yodobashi Camera the other day. It was like 300 something yen. I was like, come on, that's within my budget. And I've been trying it. I think I've tried it 2 to 3 times and I really like it. It didn't have any of the kind of irritation that I faced with this one, which they are both very liquidy masks. Like, I would say that probably the serum that is used is more similar to this kind of watery texture versus the Lululemon one, I think, is a little bit of more viscous texture. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this mask pack. 10, I would definitely try this again. I would try it again and I would buy it again, and I'm gonna finish up using this pack happily. And then the last one, well, I guess there's 2 more, but the last one is the Quality First Derma Galactomyces one. And this one, to me, honestly, this one was okay. I tried the Cica one. I like the Cica one a lot better. And one thing is that everybody will ask me usually in the comments, they're like, oh, does that have essential oils? And yes, all of the Quality First series have, like, they all include basically the same kind of essential oils. And I believe it's like, you got lavender oil, you got lemon fruit peel oil, you got lime oil, lemongrass oil. So it's like a very citrusy, nice scent. In these, So even between these and then the ones that are super popular, the scent is very prominent. But yeah, this one in particular it says that it has 4% niacinamide. It says it has 11 different types of amino acids. It also has galactomyces ferment. Galactomyces ferment filtrate. It says it has a high concentration that'll help with skin clarity, or well, it'll help with improving skin dullness through moisturizing the skin. It also says that it has a PHA, which that'll help with light exfoliation. But all of the Quality First masks, they tell you to fold up the sheet mask when you're done and then lightly rub it across your face to get the excess stuff off. But that also, in you rubbing, that rubbing action does a physical kind of exfoliation as well. Remember, be gentle with your face. Your face is not Pangea. We're not trying to move around the stars. So, but yeah, as far as for my personal usage, I used the Chico one. I like the Chico one better than the Galactomyces one. I don't know why, but I feel like I generally tend to like the more grassy ones a little bit. But yeah, no, so that's it. Like we done. It's done. Also, the supermarket is gonna close in a little bit, and I shouldn't be telling you as if you've been keeping here. This is not your fault. This is my fault. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, please let me know any of the products that you were interested in. As always, hope you have a good day. Remember, come to be your best.